Hey there. You know those days, right? The ones where you're just running, answering emails, jumping on calls, checking off tasks. But at the end of it all, you feel like you haven't actually moved an inch. It's like you're on a treadmill, just going and going. Well, what if you had a compass? Today, we're going to build one. A strategic compass that helps turn all that busyness into real, focused achievement. So let's just start with that big question right there. What's really the difference between being busy and actually making progress? A lot of us think the answer is just, work harder. But that's not it. The secret, and we're about to dive right into it, is having a really clear map of where you're headed. And that map, well, that's what we're calling your strategic compass. Think about it. To get anywhere, you really only need to know 3 things, right? You need to know where you want to end up, what path you're going to take to get there, and what signs you'll see along the way that tell you you're on track. That's it. That's your vision, your mission, and your goals. Okay, let's start with the first and, honestly, the most important piece of that compass, your vision. This is your true north. I mean, you can't really start a journey if you have no idea what your final destination is, can you? So, what is a vision? It's that super clear picture in your head of what you're trying to achieve. And we're not talking about next week or next month. This is the big one, the ultimate goal, usually 5, maybe even 10 years down the road. It really just answers one simple question. Where are we going? But here's the thing. A really powerful vision isn't some vague, fluffy dream. It has a very specific DNA. It's got to be concise, simple enough that you can remember it. It's got to be specific so you know exactly what you're aiming for. It has to be motivating. I mean, it should be the thing that gets you fired up. And it's got to be time-bound, with a deadline that creates a little bit of that healthy pressure. All right, so you know your destination. You can see it clearly. Awesome. But how do you get there? Well, that brings us to the next part of our compass, your mission. If the vision is the what and the where, then the mission is the how. It's the actual path you're going to walk, day in and day out. Your mission is all about your daily approach. It's the systems, the habits, the skills you're using right now. See, it's not about the future. It's a clear statement about what you're doing in a present. It defines what you're up to today that's going to make that future vision happen. Here's probably the easiest way to think about the difference. Your vision, that's the mountain peak in the distance, your ultimate destination. The mission, that's the path you're laying down, step by step, to actually climb that mountain. The vision is your big, motivating why. The mission is your practical, everyday how. And getting that difference straight is absolutely everything. Okay, so you've got your destination and you've got your path. You're officially on the journey. But how do you actually know you're moving forward? How do you make sure you're not just wandering around in circles? Well, that's where you need some signposts. And what are those signposts? They're your goals. They're these essential milestones that pop up along the way, and they do one simple thing. They confirm you're headed in the right direction and making real, measurable progress toward that amazing vision. So, a goal is just a specific thing you want to accomplish. It's a concrete marker that says, hey, I did it. And it's important to know a goal is bigger than an objective. You can think of objectives as all the little individual steps and to-do list items you have to check off just to reach one single goal. But just like with a vision, not all goals are created equal, right? A vague goal like I want to get better is, well, it's pretty useless. To create goals that actually work, we need a better framework. And for that, the absolute gold standard is making them SMART. SMART is this brilliant acronym that basically turns a weak wish into a rock-solid goal. Your goal has to be specific, no room for confusion. It's got to be measurable, so you know exactly when you've hit the target. It needs to be achievable, something that stretches you, sure, but isn't a total fantasy. It has to be realistic, meaning it actually makes sense with your overall vision. And finally, it absolutely must be time-bound, with a hard deadline to keep you focused. It's also really helpful to realize that goals operate on different levels. Way up at the top, you have corporate goals, the big picture stuff for the whole organization. Then you have individual goals, which are usually about improving your skills for your job. These are typically supported or sponsored by the company. And then, of course, you have your personal goals, and those are all about you, driven entirely by you. And right here, this is the secret sauce. The real magic happens when these different goals start to line up. When your own personal drive to get better perfectly overlaps with what the company is trying to achieve, man, you create an engine for success that is just unstoppable. It's that sweet spot where what's good for you is also what's good for the team. And just like that, There you have it. Your strategic map is complete. Your vision is that incredible destination you're steering toward. Your mission is the reliable path you're on every single day. And your SMART goals are those clear milestones that prove you're on your way to something great. So you've got the map, you have the tools. Now there's only one question left, and it's the most important one of all. What's your destination? What's the promised land that your compass is going to guide you to?